The day human warships made the Galactic Empire panic. The day began like any other in the outer rim of human space. Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of the human warship Endeavour, his eyes scanning the blinking screens before him. The stars stretched endlessly outside the viewports, calm and quiet, but there was tension in the air. The sensors had picked up an unusual signal, a large group of unknown ships moving steadily toward human space. Ryan rubbed his chin, feeling a mix of curiosity and caution. "Sir," said Lieutenant Emma Carter, her voice steady but alert, "the ships are not responding to our hails. They are entering the system at standard warp speed." Ryan nodded. "Keep tracking them, Emma. Let me know if they slow down or change course. For now, stay ready but don't panic." On the bridge, the crew moved like a single organism. Each person had a role, and each role was important. Commander Laura Bennett, Ryan's second-in-command, studied the readings from the scanners. "They are large," she said quietly. "Much larger than anything we usually see in this sector. I think they might belong to the Galactic Empire." Ryan raised an eyebrow. The Galactic Empire had been a distant story in human history. They ruled many systems far beyond the reaches of human space. Humans had avoided them, trading carefully, exploring quietly. But now, here they were, massive warships moving directly into human space. "Show me," Ryan said. The view screen flickered, then displayed the distant shapes. The alien ships were immense, shaped like nothing humans had built. Long, curved hulls with hundreds of glowing ports stretched along the bodies. Even from this distance, they looked intimidating. Ryan felt a small chill run down his spine, but he did not show it. Humans were not known for panic, even in the face of the unknown. "They are slowing down," said Emma. "I think they are scanning us." Laura leaned forward. "They must not have expected humans here. Usually they avoid this region. It's far from the main trade routes." "Perhaps they think it is unimportant." Ryan shook his head. "Nothing about humans is small. We have always survived because we adapt. Let's see how they react." The crew continued their work, monitoring the alien fleet. Every blink, every shift in movement mattered. Outside, the stars seemed indifferent to the tension inside the Endeavour. But humans did not need stars to guide them. They used instinct, experience, and careful planning. Meanwhile, on the largest alien ship, the Imperial commander watched the human vessels with curiosity. The aliens were used to systems surrendering without resistance. Human ships were small, almost fragile in comparison to the Imperial dreadnoughts, yet they moved calmly and without fear. "Strange," muttered the commander. "Why do these humans not flee? Why do they not tremble at our presence?" The aliens were proud. They had conquered hundreds of systems, destroyed entire fleets with ease. No species had ever stood against them and survived. Humans were supposed to be weak, but here they were, just sitting quietly, waiting. That made the commander uneasy. He did not like uneasy feelings. He did not like surprises. Back on the Endeavour, Ryan called a meeting with the senior officers. Around the table were Laura, Emma, and two others, Pilot Alex Turner and Weapons Officer Sophia Grant. Each had been trained for this moment, though none had imagined it would come so soon. "We don't know their intent," Ryan began. "We are not here to fight, but we will defend ourselves if necessary. Keep your ships in formation. Do not show aggression. Do not show fear. Just stay calm and ready." Sophia nodded. "Weapons are on standby. I've tested the shields. We can hold against one of their smaller cruisers if it comes to that." Alex leaned back. "I don't like this. They are huge. One move from them and we could be crushed before we even respond." Laura spoke firmly. "Alex, remember that humans survive because we are clever. We adapt. We do not panic. That is our strength." The human crew moved efficiently. The Empire had expected fear, perhaps even surrender. Humans gave neither. They continued scanning, calculating, and observing. The alien ships hovered on the edge of the system, watching, unsure. Human patience was a quiet kind of power. The Empire had never seen anything like it. Hours passed, and the alien commander finally sent a communication. It was formal, demanding that the humans leave the area immediately. The message carried the usual threats. "Leave now," it said. "Your species is insignificant. Resistance is futile." Ryan read the message aloud to the officers. "They think we are insignificant," he said, a small smile forming on his face. "Let's see how they feel about that." Laura raised an eyebrow. "They underestimate us. That is dangerous for them. But for now we respond calmly. We do not threaten, we do not lie, we show that humans are steady even when the universe expects fear." The human reply was simple, precise, and unflinching. "We are passing through. We intend no harm. We request safe passage. We will leave peacefully if no hostilities are committed against us." The alien commander was stunned. The human spoke without fear, without hesitation, without flattery. Most species would have begged, cowered, or tried to appease the Empire. Humans did none of these things. That made the commander uneasy. There was a strange tension in the alien fleet, a sense of doubt they had never experienced before. Inside the Endeavor, the crew remained vigilant. Alex practiced maneuvers in the simulator, testing the ship's response. Sophia ran diagnostics on the shields and weapons. Emma monitored every incoming signal. Laura checked the navigation. Ryan paced the bridge, thinking about the decisions ahead. Every choice could be the difference between survival and disaster, but he trusted his team. Humans were stronger together than alone, and that strength showed in their calm, precise movements. Days passed. The Empire continued to study the humans, sending small patrols to test their reactions. Each time, humans responded with discipline and clarity. They never panicked. They never struck first. They never made mistakes. The aliens began to whisper among themselves. Why are they not afraid? Why do they act with such confidence? How can such small ships be so bold? Ryan noticed the change in the Empire's behavior, even from afar. There was tension, hesitation, doubt. That was all humans needed. "Let them wonder," he said quietly. "We do not fight to show power, we fight to survive. And right now, we survive by being ready and calm." By the end of the first week, the alien commander grew restless. Reports indicated that human crews were efficient, intelligent, and united. They did not panic under pressure. They did not lose composure even when threatened. For the first time in centuries, the Empire faced something it could not immediately crush, manipulate, or intimidate. Ryan looked at his crew and felt pride. Humans were not the largest, fastest, or strongest in the galaxy, but they had patience, ingenuity, and courage. They could endure what others could not. They could stand when others would fall. That quiet strength, that calm presence, was the beginning of a story the Empire would never forget. As the alien fleet hovered uncertainly at the edge of the system, Ryan knew one thing clearly. The humans were not here to start a war. But if the Empire miscalculated, they would see just how dangerous patience and unity could be. And on that day, the first seeds of fear began to grow in the hearts of the Galactic Empire. The stars remained calm outside, indifferent to the tension in human space. But inside the Endeavor, humanity's resolve shone brighter than any star. They were ready for whatever came next, and the Empire had only begun to understand that humans were not a species to underestimate. The alien fleet lingered at the edge of the human system, its massive hulls glowing faintly against the black of space. Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of the Endeavor, watching the strange ships with steady eyes. They had been observing humans for days now, sending patrols and small probes to test reactions. Each time, the humans responded with calm precision. Nothing about their behavior suggested fear, and that unsettled the aliens more than any battle ever could. Lieutenant Emma Carter tapped a few buttons, bringing the latest sensor readings onto the main screen. "Sir," she said, "they are moving closer but slowly. I don't think they understand us yet. Their patrols are cautious, almost hesitant." Ryan nodded. "Good, let them hesitate. That hesitation is weakness in their minds, but it gives us information. Keep tracking all movements. Laura, any changes in formation. Commander Laura Bennett leaned over her console. They are tightening their perimeter, but very carefully. It looks like they are trying to intimidate us, but they are not moving aggressively. They expect us to respond in fear or attack, but we are neither afraid nor reckless. Ryan smiled slightly. Exactly. They do not understand humans. We have patience. We have calculation. That is our advantage. Alex Turner, the pilot, shook his head. I still don't like this. They are huge. One move from them and we could be destroyed in minutes. Even with shields, even with our weapons, they could wipe us out if they wanted. Laura looked at him calmly. Alex, that is true, but humans survive because we think, not because we have the largest guns. We survive because we do not panic. We adapt. That is something they do not expect. Sophia Grant, the weapons officer, leaned forward. I've run simulations. Our weapons can disable one of their smaller cruisers without destroying it. The trick is precision, patience, and timing. We don't need to strike first. We only defend when necessary, Ryan nodded. That's exactly the plan. And remember, we do not need to attack. Humans have something that this empire has never faced before, calm under pressure. We will survive because we are steady and because we work as a team. Meanwhile, aboard one of the largest Imperial cruisers, the alien commanders argued. Why do they not react with fear? One demanded. Why do they not beg for mercy? This species should be insignificant. Another replied sharply, I do not know. Every attempt to provoke them fails. They remain calm even as we approach with weapons ready. Their patience, it is unnatural. Back on the Endeavor, the humans continued their careful work. Days passed in a steady rhythm. The humans monitored the alien fleet, ran drills, and repaired their ships. There was no rush, no panic, no wasted energy. Every action had a purpose. Every movement was deliberate. Ryan walked among the crew, checking stations, talking quietly to each person. How are the shields holding? He asked Sophia. Stable, she replied. I've doubled the backup systems. Even if one fails, the other will handle the load. And the engines? Ryan asked Alex. They're ready, Alex said. We can move faster than they expect, and we can maneuver in ways they do not anticipate. Humans are not predictable. That's our advantage. Laura added, the Empire does not understand humans. They expect panic, emotion, fear. We give them none of that. That is why they hesitate. Days turned into a week. The alien fleet had begun to spread rumors among their own officers. They are too calm, one whispered. How can such small ships be so precise? How can their crews move without fear? Perhaps their courage is unusual, another said. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach. But the senior commanders of the Empire did not like uncertainty. They believed strength came from size, firepower, and intimidation. Humans were teaching them something different. That strength could come from composure, discipline, and unity. The humans, for their part, were not trying to prove themselves. They were simply surviving, but survival required showing capability. If humans panicked, the Empire would strike. If humans showed recklessness, they would be destroyed. But humans were steady. They moved carefully, repaired ships as needed, and monitored every alien signal. One afternoon, a small Imperial patrol approached the human ships. It was a test, the aliens hoped, to see if the humans would flee. Captain Ryan Cole watched the patrol enter their sensor range. Stay calm, he said. Do not engage unless necessary. Emma monitored the patrol's movements. They are scanning our shields, she said. They are trying to see how strong we are. Sophia adjusted the weapon systems but did not arm them fully. We do not strike first. We show only readiness. The Imperial patrol moved closer, then stopped. The humans held their positions. The aliens hovered for a tense moment, then retreated. The humans had not attacked. They had not panicked. And that small demonstration of control shook the patrol officers. Later, in the human briefing room, Ryan addressed his senior officers. They are learning one thing: humans do not act like other species. They do not react with fear. They do not react with blind aggression. That confuses them. That is our advantage. Laura nodded. And they will make mistakes because of it. Pride and overconfidence make them predictable. Ryan smiled. Exactly, but we must remain patient. Every move counts. Every signal counts. Humans survive because we do not rush into decisions. As days passed, the humans noticed something else. The aliens were sending mixed signals. Sometimes they hovered in formation, sometimes they broke apart, testing responses. Sometimes they tried communication, sometimes they issued threats. But humans responded the same way every time: calm, precise, steady. One night, as Ryan walked the quiet corridors of the Endeavor, he reflected on the situation. "We are not here to conquer," he said quietly. "We are here to survive. But survival can teach lessons, and humans have always survived, even against impossible odds." Emma approached him. "Sir, do you think they will attack?" Ryan shook his head. "Not yet, they are confused, but even if they do, we are ready. Humans are clever and we do not panic. That is why we survive." On the Imperial ships, the senior commanders were growing frustrated. "We have never faced a species like this," one said. "We should crush them now while we can." Another replied, "No, if we strike we risk showing weakness. They may be small, but they do not react like others. That makes them dangerous." That word dangerous was new in the Empire's vocabulary. Humans were not large, humans were not fast, humans did not have endless fleets, but humans had discipline, courage, and composure. That made them dangerous. Inside the Endeavor, the crew continued their drills. Alex practiced maneuvers in the simulators. Sophia ran stress tests on the weapon systems. Emma monitored every incoming signal, logging patterns. Laura coordinated repairs and supplies, and Ryan oversaw it all, confident in his crew. Humans survived because they prepared, because they remained calm, because they adapted. One morning, an alien diplomat arrived. The humans were ready. They opened a communication channel. The diplomat's voice was formal, sharp, commanding. "Leave this system immediately. Your presence is unauthorized. You are insignificant. Resistance is pointless." Ryan responded calmly. "We are passing through. We intend no harm. We request safe passage. If attacked, we will defend ourselves. Otherwise, we will leave peacefully." The alien diplomat hesitated. Humans were supposed to beg, to cower, to negotiate desperately. These humans did none of that. Their calm tone suggested confidence and preparation. That confidence was unfamiliar. That confidence was dangerous. Days passed. The aliens tried to intimidate humans with fleet movements, minor maneuvers, and threats. Each time, humans responded with calm precision. Shields were strengthened. Weapons were prepared but not fired. Every crew member knew their role and performed it perfectly. The aliens began to whisper among themselves. "They are too organized," one said. "Too calm, too precise." "They are dangerous," another whispered. And that was exactly what humans wanted. Not violence, not war, not fear, just respect earned through steady, careful preparation. Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge one night, looking at the alien fleet in the distance. He thought about the centuries humans had survived. He thought about the small ships that had once sailed the oceans of Earth, navigating storms and unknown dangers. He thought about the people in his crew who were ready to face anything with calm and courage. "Humans survive," he said softly, "not because we are the biggest or the strongest, but because we are steady, because we are clever, because we do not panic." And in the alien fleet, far away, senior commanders began to wonder if they had misjudged this species entirely. They had underestimated humans, thinking them weak. And now, for the first time, the word dangerous was used in their council halls. Humans did not know fear, at least not in the way the Empire expected. And that simple fact was beginning to change everything. The alien fleet had grown restless. Weeks of watching the humans in their small ships had left them uneasy. They had expected fear, hesitation, or surrender. They had expected humans to beg for mercy or flee at the first sign of danger. But humans did none of these things. They remained calm, precise, and ready. Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of the Endeavour, staring at the distant formations of alien ships. He did not fear them. He did not doubt his crew. Humans had survived worse than enormous fleets. Humans had faced storms, predators, and hostile planets. They had endured. And now the alien empire was learning that endurance, patience, and courage were weapons in themselves. "Sir," said Lieutenant Emma Carter, "they are moving closer. The patrols are growing bolder. They are testing our shields and our weapons." Ryan nodded. "Let them test." "We are ready. Laura, what do you see on the scanners?" Commander Laura Bennett adjusted her console. "They are moving in a more coordinated way. Their larger ships are positioning to surround us, but they are cautious. They have noticed that our formations do not panic or break. That worries them more than their weapons could." Alex Turner, the pilot, frowned. "I don't like it. They are huge, Ryan. One of their main cruisers could crush us before we respond." Ryan gave a small, steady smile. "True, but humans are not predictable. We do not act with fear and we do not act recklessly. That is our strength. Their size does not matter as much as their expectations. They expect panic. We do not give it to them." Sophia Grant, the weapons officer, spoke up. "All systems are ready. Shields are holding at maximum efficiency. Weapons are on standby. If they fire first, we can respond immediately. But I agree, do not fire unless necessary." The humans moved with calm precision. They repaired damaged systems quickly, recalibrated weapons, and ran simulations of defensive maneuvers. Every crew member knew their role and executed it perfectly. The alien commanders, meanwhile, grew more anxious. They had never seen a species act so steadily in the face of superior firepower. On the largest Imperial cruiser, the senior commander tapped his clawed fingers on the control panel. "These humans, they do not respond as expected. Their ships are smaller, yet they act with discipline and courage." "How is this possible?" an officer replied. "I do not know, my commander. Every test we send, they respond calmly. They do not retreat. They do not strike without purpose. They are unusual." The commander's eyes narrowed. "Unusual is dangerous. Prepare the main fleet. We will show them the strength of the Empire." Back on the Endeavour, Ryan stood with his officers, observing the distant movements. "They are coming closer. It is time to show them that humans are not weak, but we will do so carefully. Our goal is not destruction, it is respect. Show strength, but avoid unnecessary bloodshed." Laura nodded. "We can do that. Precision, not panic. Strength, not aggression. That is the human way." The alien fleet began to close in. Their massive ships moved with grace, but their size made them slower to respond to sudden changes. Humans, smaller and faster, could maneuver in ways the Empire had not anticipated. Alex began plotting a series of evasive maneuvers designed to confuse and frustrate the larger ships. "Sir," Emma said, "they are attempting to flank us. They think we will panic, but our shields are strong and our engines are ready." Ryan nodded. "Let them try. We are ready." As the alien ships moved closer, they fired small warning shots. The lasers struck near the human fleet, creating brilliant bursts of light in the darkness of space. But the humans did not panic. Shields absorbed the energy, and every crew member remained at their stations. Sophia monitored the impact. "Minimal damage, system stable, we are ready for anything." The aliens expected panic, they expected fear, but all they received was calm precision, and that drove them to frustration. "Why do they not respond?" demanded one Imperial officer. "Why do they not flee? Why do they not beg?" "They are not like other species," another admitted. "They do not act with fear. They are disciplined, dangerous in ways we cannot measure." The Imperial commander roared in frustration. "Prepare the main weapons." Target their engines. Show them the power of the Empire. Back on the Endeavor, Ryan gave the order for defensive maneuvers. The small human ships moved in perfect formation, twisting and turning to avoid the larger beams of the Imperial fleet. Lasers glanced off shields, doing little more than lighting up the void. "Keep calm," Ryan said. "Precision is everything. Do not panic." Alex piloted the ship with expert skill, twisting around the massive enemy cruisers. "They can't hit us if we move unpredictably but carefully," he said. "We are faster than they expect." Sophia prepared the weapon systems but did not fire. "We do not strike first, only if they cross a line. Remember, Ryan, they expect aggression but we show control." The aliens attempted to outmaneuver the humans, but every move was anticipated. Humans had a unique way of thinking, combining instinct and calculation. For every threat, they had a response. For every move, a counter. The aliens began to realize they were being challenged in a way they had never experienced. "Sir," Emma said quietly, "they are learning. The humans are teaching them patience, and patience is making them hesitate. They do not know how to act." Ryan nodded. "That is exactly what we want. We do not need to destroy them. Their hesitation is already our advantage. Observe and prepare. Humans survive because we do not panic, and the Empire is beginning to understand that too late." In the distance, the Imperial ships fired larger beams, hoping to destroy the human fleet. The lasers blazed through space, and one struck a human ship near the engine. There was a flash, an alarm sounded, but the crew remained composed. Shields absorbed the brunt of the attack and repairs were executed immediately. "Damage minimal," Sophia reported. "System stable, ready for continued engagement." Ryan smiled. "See, calm, precision, teamwork, that is why humans survive." The aliens began to panic, though they tried to hide it. They were used to fear controlling weaker species. But humans did not fear. Humans acted, thought, and coordinated. That was something alien commanders could not predict. "Why do they not panic?" the Imperial commander shouted. "Why do they not break formation? They should be scared." "They are not like us," an officer admitted. "Their discipline, it is terrifying in its own way." The human fleet continued to move with calm precision, dodging attacks, repairing minor damage, and observing every alien maneuver. They showed the Empire that humans were not reckless, not weak, and not predictable. Humans were clever, adaptable, and united. "Sir," Emma said, "the aliens are beginning to withdraw slightly. They are confused by our calm. They do not know how to react." Ryan nodded. "Let them wonder. Let them realize that humans are dangerous not because of rage, but because of composure and unity. That is the lesson they must learn." Over the next hours, the humans continued their careful maneuvers. The aliens tested them repeatedly, each time meeting calm and precision. By the end of the day, it was clear that the humans had held their own against a superior fleet. The Empire had never encountered such resistance without outright aggression. On the Endeavor, Ryan looked at his crew. "Well done," he said quietly. "You have shown them what humans are capable of. Not through aggression, but through skill, courage, and calm." "That is more powerful than any weapon they could fire," Laura smiled. "They are beginning to respect us, maybe even fear us a little, but that is natural. Humans survive by making others understand that we are not weak." Alex grinned. "I still can't believe how close that was." "But we did it, we really did it," Sophia nodded. "We survive because we stay calm, and they cannot predict us because we act together. That is why we are dangerous." The alien commanders, meanwhile, met in council. "We underestimated them," one admitted. "We cannot understand them. They do not panic, they do not beg, they do not strike recklessly. We are uneasy." "Unsettled," another agreed. "We must be careful, these humans are dangerous." Ryan watched the distant alien fleet and felt a quiet pride. Humans had survived countless dangers in history, from small skirmishes on planets to great storms in space. They had endured because they adapted, because they remained calm, because they worked together. And now, in the vastness of space, they had shown that the same qualities made them a force that even the Galactic Empire could not ignore. Humans survive, Ryan said quietly, because we are clever, because we are patient, because we do not panic. And that is what makes us stronger than they can imagine. And so, the first display of human strength was complete. Not through rage, not through destruction, not through overwhelming force, but through discipline, courage, and unity. The Empire had begun to realize that humans were not a species to underestimate. The stars remained calm outside, indifferent to the tension below. But inside the Endeavor, humanity's determination shone brighter than any star. They had survived the first test, and the Empire was beginning to learn that humans were dangerous, not because of fury, but because of patience, courage, and the unbreakable will to survive. The alien fleet was in chaos. Weeks of observation and testing had left the Imperial commanders uneasy. No species had ever faced them without trembling or begging. Humans, however, remained calm, precise, and unyielding. Their small fleet had survived attacks, dodged heavy fire, and repaired damage faster than the Empire could believe. Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of the Endeavor, watching the distant alien ships. "They are unsettled," he said quietly to Commander Laura Bennett. "They expected fear, they expected panic, and they got none. That is why they are confused." Laura nodded. "They are beginning to make mistakes. Their formations are breaking. Their patrols are moving too slowly, and they hesitate before each attack." "That is exactly what we need." Alex Turner, the pilot, leaned forward, eyes on his console. "I've noticed their communications are chaotic. They are arguing among themselves. Some want to attack immediately, others want to wait. We can use that." Sophia Grant, the weapons officer, adjusted the targeting systems. "We don't need to attack yet. We only show readiness. But if they press, we can disable their cruisers without causing full destruction. That will teach them a lesson in control." Lieutenant Emma Carter, monitoring alien transmissions, spoke up. "Sir, their main council is communicating directly with the field commanders. They are panicking. They do not know how to handle us." Ryan smiled. "Good. Panic is contagious. Humans survive because we remain steady. The Empire is beginning to see that." In the alien command ships, panic was spreading. Senior officers shouted at each other, blaming mistakes on one another. "They are too calm," one growled. "How can such small ships survive our fleet? How can they act with such precision?" "They do not panic," another said. "We cannot predict them, we cannot intimidate them. They are dangerous." The word dangerous echoed through the halls of the alien ships. It was not used lightly. No species had ever been called dangerous for surviving without fear. For humans, that word was proof that they were finally being taken seriously. On the Endeavor, Ryan called a strategy meeting with his senior officers. "The Empire is beginning to panic. Their communications are fractured. Their patrols hesitate. This is our opportunity. We do not strike first, but we can guide their actions." Laura nodded. "We can demonstrate control without violence. Precision will teach them respect. If they continue their attacks, we respond. Otherwise, we remain steady and confident. That alone unsettles them." Alex looked uneasy. "It feels strange not firing while they are so close. Are we sure this will work?" Ryan smiled. "Alex, this is not about weapons. This is about human will, discipline, and composure. They expect fear or aggression. We give neither. That is why they are panicking." Emma studied the alien signals. "Sir, they are sending reinforcements to a forward position, but they are moving slowly. They hesitate at every turn. They are testing, but they do not trust each other's decisions." Sophia added, "Our shields are holding and our engines are ready. If they make a mistake, we can react. They are already nervous. One misstep from them, and we can demonstrate the consequences without unnecessary destruction." Days passed, and the Empire's panic spread through the ranks. Patrols were late to respond. Communications were disorganized, and officers openly questioned their commanders. Humans observed quietly, ready to act but patient, calm, and precise. The aliens tried to intimidate again. A large cruiser moved toward the Endeavor, firing a warning salvo. Lasers struck near the human ships, lighting up the void but causing only minor shield stress. Humans did not panic. Shields held, systems were repaired, and weapons were ready. Minimal damage, Sophia said. Everything stable, ready to continue. Alex piloted the ship around the cruiser, demonstrating human agility. They can't predict our moves, he said. They are too slow. Every move they make is cautious. They are afraid of making a mistake. Laura nodded. And that fear is their weakness. They cannot attack properly while panicked. We remain steady, and that is enough to control the situation. In the alien command center, officers argued. We cannot let them move freely, one demanded. We must strike. No, another replied. If we strike recklessly, they may retaliate. These humans are not like other species. They do not panic and they do not act without purpose. We are uncertain. That is dangerous. The word dangerous grew louder in the minds of the commanders. They realized they had underestimated humans entirely. Small ships, disciplined crews, and calm leadership had created a force the Empire could not control with fear or intimidation. Ryan addressed his crew quietly. They are panicking. They do not know how to handle us. Remember, we are not here to destroy them, only to survive and show that humans are capable. Continue to move with precision, maintain readiness, and repair as needed. Our composure is our strength. Emma looked at the screens. Sir, some of their ships are withdrawing slightly. They are confused. They do not know how to engage us properly. That is good, Ryan said. Let them think we are invincible, not because we are reckless, but because we are careful, united, and ready. That is the lesson we teach. The alien commanders were desperate. Some wanted to attack, others wanted to withdraw. Their fleet moved with hesitation, trying to maintain control while avoiding mistakes. Humans observed each movement carefully, ready to respond to any miscalculation. Laura spoke quietly to Ryan. They are fracturing their own ranks. Their panic is spreading. Soon they will make a mistake we can exploit without violence. Ryan nodded. Humans survive by being steady. Let the Empire panic. We do not attack, we do not show fear, and we do not overreach. That alone is enough to make them uneasy. Over the next few days, humans continued to show calm precision. They repaired minor damage, monitored alien movements, and ran simulations of defensive tactics. The aliens, in contrast, were in disarray. Patrols were late, reinforcements arrived late, and officers argued openly. Emma reported, Sir, their communication network is compromised. Panic is spreading faster than we expected. They are questioning their leadership openly. Ryan smiled. Perfect. That is exactly what we want. Humans survive not just by strength but by composure. Their panic is proof that our method works. One morning, a group of alien ships moved toward the human fleet in a coordinated attack. Lasers fired, striking near the Endeavor. Shields absorbed most of the impact and repairs were immediate. Humans responded with precise evasive maneuvers, avoiding major damage. Alex grinned. They can't hit us properly. Their movements are slow and cautious. They are afraid of making mistakes. Sophia nodded. Their hesitation is their weakness. We only respond if necessary. Otherwise, we maintain composure. The Empire's leaders were frantic. They sent urgent messages to the main council, reporting the humans' unusual behavior. We cannot control them, one officer said. They do not panic, they do not beg, they do not act recklessly. We are unprepared. The senior council replied, prepare the main fleet, but proceed cautiously. These humans are unlike anything we have faced. One wrong move could be disastrous. Back on the Endeavor, Ryan looked at his crew. Humans survive because we are united, because we are patient, because we do not panic. That is why the Empire is afraid. Not because of our weapons, not because of our size, but because of our will. Laura added, they are beginning to understand that humans are dangerous in ways they cannot measure. That is respect earned without destruction. Days turned into a week, and the alien fleet's panic deepened. Patrols hesitated, commanders doubted their decisions, and minor skirmishes were avoided out of fear of mistakes. Humans, meanwhile, continued their disciplined routine. They repaired systems, practiced maneuvers, and monitored the aliens. Emma reported, "Sir, the Empire's field commanders are openly arguing. Some want to attack, some want to retreat. Their hesitation is growing." Ryan nodded. "Let them argue. Let them panic. Humans survive by staying steady, by being calm, and by working together." That is the lesson they are learning, Sophia added, and we are ready for any mistake they make. We can respond without fear, without panic, and without unnecessary aggression. That is why we survive. Alex piloted the Endeavour through a narrow maneuver between two massive alien cruisers, demonstrating human skill and agility. They are afraid to move near us. They know we can outmaneuver them. Laura smiled. That fear is respect, not from force but from composure. Humans survive because we act with purpose. By the end of Part 4, the Empire was in chaos. Panic had spread through their ranks and their commanders were unsure of how to respond. Humans had not attacked. Humans had not threatened. Humans had only remained steady, precise, and ready. That simple display of discipline, courage, and unity had shaken the greatest power in the galaxy. Ryan looked at his crew with pride. We have survived the first wave of panic. The Empire now knows humans are not weak. We are clever, we are united, and we are steady. That is why they fear us. And in the distant alien fleets, whispers of the word dangerous grew louder. The Empire had underestimated humanity entirely, and for the first time it realized that humans were a force to be respected, even feared, not because of rage or destruction, but because of courage, patience, and unbreakable will. The alien empire was in complete disorder. Panic had spread through the fleet. Commanders argued openly. Patrols hesitated. Reinforcements arrived late and ships moved cautiously as if they feared every misstep. Humans had not fired first. Humans had not attacked. Humans had only shown calm, precision, and readiness. That alone had shaken the greatest power in the galaxy. Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of the Endeavour, quietly observing the distant alien ships. "They are beginning to understand," he said to Commander Laura Bennett. "They expected fear or aggression. We gave neither. That is why they are panicking. That is why they are respecting us even if they do not admit it yet." Laura nodded. "They are fracturing their own command. Their officers cannot agree on strategy. Some want to attack, some want to withdraw. Their hesitation is growing by the hour." Alex Turner, the pilot, looked at the alien formations nervously. "It still feels strange. They have more ships than us, bigger ships. If they attack seriously, we could be destroyed." Ryan smiled. "True, but humans are not predictable. We act with caution and precision. We survive because we are united. That is something they cannot understand. That is why we are dangerous." Sophia Grant, the weapons officer, adjusted the targeting displays. "All systems are ready. Shields, engines, weapons, all prepared. If they cross a line, we can respond immediately. But they hesitate. That hesitation is our advantage." Emma Carter, monitoring alien signals, spoke up. "Sir, they are sending an envoy. A small delegation is moving toward us for direct communication. I think they want to understand us better, or maybe they are trying to negotiate to avoid mistakes." Ryan nodded. "Prepare a communications channel. We respond with clarity and calm. Humans survive because we speak truthfully and firmly, not with threats, not with panic, but with honesty and confidence." Laura helped set up the channel. "We will explain our intentions clearly. We do not seek war. We do not seek conquest. But we will defend ourselves if necessary." That is all the message they need to hear. The alien envoy appeared on the screen. Their appearance was intimidating, with tall, armored frames and serious expressions, but their posture betrayed uncertainty. Captain Ryan Cole spoke first, his voice calm and steady. "We are passing through this sector," he said. "We intend no harm. We only request safe passage. Humans do not seek to conquer, to destroy, or to dominate, but we do not flee and we do not beg. We will defend ourselves if necessary." There was silence on the alien side. The envoy did not respond immediately. Their hesitation was clear. The humans remained calm, steady, and patient. One of the alien officers finally spoke. "Your species behaves differently than any we have encountered. You do not panic, you do not beg, you do not attack recklessly, yet you withstand our fleets with precision and discipline." "Why?" Ryan smiled slightly. "Humans survive because we work together. We remain calm. We adapt. We respect life and we respect strength. That is why we endure even when the odds are against us. You fear what you do not understand, our patience, our composure, our unity." The alien envoy exchanged nervous glances. They had never faced a species like this. Every other species they had conquered or destroyed had acted predictably, with fear, rage, or surrender. Humans acted with none of these. That unpredictability combined with calm strength was terrifying to them. One of the alien officers finally admitted, "You are dangerous. Not because of your weapons, not because of your size, but because of your will. You are not afraid. You do not panic. You survive even against overwhelming odds." Ryan nodded. "Yes, that is correct. We are dangerous because we do not yield to fear, because we act with purpose. Because we survive, but we do not wish war, we wish to pass safely. That is all." The envoy remained silent as if considering his words. Finally, he replied, "We understand. We will allow you passage, but know this, your species has earned our respect. That respect comes from courage, precision, and calm determination. You are unlike any we have encountered." Ryan turned to his crew. "Prepare to resume standard course. Continue to move steadily. Remain ready but continue without alarm. This is not the end, but it is a victory for our way of life." Laura smiled. "The Empire has begun to see humans as a species to respect, not because of brute strength but because of discipline, unity, and courage. That is the lesson of this encounter." Alex grinned. "I still can't believe we made them hesitate and reconsider without firing a single shot. That is incredible." Sophia nodded. "We showed them that strength is not just in weapons. Strength is in teamwork, preparation, and calm under pressure. Humans survive because of those qualities." Emma added quietly, "And they will remember it. They may have the largest fleet in the galaxy, but they will not forget that humans do not act like other species. That is respect earned through will, not violence." The alien fleet slowly withdrew, giving human ships the freedom to continue their journey. Commanders on the human side breathed a quiet sigh of relief. They had survived the greatest test of patience and skill without unnecessary bloodshed. Ryan looked at the stars outside the Endeavor. "Humans have survived not because we are the strongest, but because we are clever, disciplined, and united. That is our power, and the Empire has learned that today." Laura added, "We have shown them that humans are dangerous in ways they cannot easily measure, not because of rage, but because of courage, precision, and calm. That is why they feared us, and that is why they will respect us." The crew worked quietly, repairing minor damage and resupplying systems. There was no celebration, no overconfidence. Humans did not act recklessly even in victory. Their discipline remained. Their composure remained. That was the human way. Days later, communications from the Empire confirmed the shift in attitude. "We underestimated your species," one alien commander admitted. "Your patience, discipline, and courage have earned our respect. You survive in ways we cannot predict. We will treat you as equals in this region. We will not attack and we will not underestimate you again." Ryan nodded to his crew. "That is all we wanted. Respect earned through our actions, not through fear or violence. Humans survive because we act with clarity, courage, and unity. Laura smiled. And that lesson will carry far beyond this encounter. The Empire may have the largest fleet, but they now know that humans cannot be intimidated or underestimated. Alex leaned back, finally relaxing. We did it. We didn't have to destroy them to make them respect us. We survived and we showed them what humans can do. That is incredible. Sophia added, the lesson is simple. Calm under pressure, careful planning, and unity are more powerful than any weapon. Humans survive because we think, not just because we fight. Emma looked at the distant alien fleets and said quietly, and they will remember us. They will remember how humans act, how humans survive, and why humans cannot be ignored. Ryan smiled. Exactly. Today, we did not just survive. We taught the greatest empire in the galaxy that humans are not weak. We taught them that humans act with purpose, courage, and unity. That is the human way. For the first time, the alien commanders realized that humans were not merely a small species to be conquered or dismissed. They were clever, disciplined, and fearless in ways that few had ever seen. That realization would echo through the Empire for decades to come. Back on the Endeavor, the crew worked efficiently, maintaining their ships and preparing to continue their journey. They had not celebrated. Humans did not need fireworks to mark their victories. Their discipline, courage, and unity were enough. Ryan turned to his officers. Remember this day, not for glory but for what it teaches us. Humans survive not because we are the strongest, not because we have the largest weapons, but because we act with clarity, courage, and unity. That is what makes us dangerous, and that is what makes us respected. Laura nodded. The Empire has learned a valuable lesson. Humans do not act like others. We are patient, precise, and courageous. That is our greatest weapon, Alex smiled. And we didn't have to fire a single shot to prove it. Sophia added, the universe will remember today. Not for the destruction we could have caused, but for the composure, discipline, and courage we demonstrated. Emma concluded, and that is why humans survive. That is why humans are respected. That is why humans are not afraid to face the unknown. Captain Ryan Cole looked out at the stars, the void calm and quiet. The humans had survived the greatest test of courage and discipline. They had not sought war. They had not struck recklessly. They had acted with patience, precision, and unity. And in that calm, the Empire learned something it had never understood before. Humans were dangerous not because of rage, not because of firepower, but because of courage, discipline, and the unbreakable will to survive. That day, the humans passed through the Empire's territory. The Empire did not attack. The Empire respected them, and the universe began to understand that humans were a species unlike any other, clever, courageous, and united. Humans survived, and that was more powerful than any weapon in the galaxy.